Yeah. All right. So where was I? Yeah, I was just introducing myself. Yeah. So I'm Alicia. So I'm from Glen Mary campus over here. So I'm affiliated with a teaching and learning center, and I started my career a year plus before. Yeah. So a little background about myself is that I did a PhD in Poland in biochemistry and also immunology, and ongoing, I continue with my research career in Oxford before coming back due to the pandemic. So I work in a pharmaceutical company before joining here, and in that pharmaceutical company, I was involved in product development as well as doing some trainings to the pharmacists as well as dietitian. So I'm glad that now with my position over here, I'm currently teaching a self-management course to the students, especially PDS and PDLS course. So for lecturers that are dealing with your students, yeah, I'm the lecturer that's teaching PDS and PDLS from here at Glen Mary. All right. So a very warm welcome and thank you so much for joining this session today. So I have just launched a poll before the start of the session to know that where are you from? So I can see that we have colleagues from Glen Mary as well as Penang. Yeah, so nice to meet all of you. Okay. All right, just a second, yeah. Okay, so just let me share my screen. All right, okay. So today's session will be on creative problem solving using lateral thinking and six thinking hats, yeah? Okay. All right. So before we begin, so let's break the ice, all right? So I would like you to scan this QR code, all right? And I would like to know what is your emotion, okay, this morning, or the color of your emotion this morning. So you can scan this QR code, or I will also put the link at the chat box over here so that you can click on it if you can't scan the QR code. All right. So what's the color of your emotions today? Wow, I have already seen some of the results. Okay. Glad to see that some blue. All right. I'm not sure what blue means to you. Okay, some is black. All right. Black. Okay. I'm just going to wait for a little bit more for you to let me know what's the color of your emotions today. All right. For the white, we have 1. Blue, we have 3. I'm just going to wait for another minute, okay, for those that have just joined, all right? Penny mentioned that she's white today, okay. So we can see that that's not to say majority, but for the current situation that 3 is the most number that choose blue, all right, followed by yellow, green, black, and white, okay. All right, so for the next questions, okay, I would like to know the color that you chose, what does it mean to you? Right, so for example, if you think white is calm, because color can be very subjective to everyone, yeah? Moody. Yeah, it would be great that you put the color that you chose together along with the description, yeah? Alisa mentioned that it's calm, cool, but what color did you choose? Oh, you choose blue because you are moody today. Oh dear, but it's a Friday. You should feel happy. All right. Thanks, Alison. Thank you. Green, very pleasant. All right. So white means to you clear, calm, and peaceful. Yellow is very bright and cheerful. All right. And let me see. Yeah, white not thinking anything today on leave. All right, yeah, that's great. Yeah, I'm glad that you still join my session despite that you're on leave today. Blue, lots of possibilities. The sky is not the limit. Wow, amazing. So, yep. Is there anyone who would like to give your point of view on the color that you have chosen? So I will wait for another minute, all right, for you to let me know, okay, what does the color you have chosen means to you. And for those who have just joined, we are just talking about the color of your emotion, all right? So there's yellow, green, blue, red, white, and black. So what color, okay, does it represent your emotion today? So I have green that mentioned that it's very peaceful, very pleasant and comfortable, whereas yellow is very bright and cheerful. White is clear, calm, and peaceful. Okay, so that's a little bit uh overlapping with the green, and blue is very moody, all right? Okay, and calm, cool. Okay, I believe that is for blue as well. Okay. All right. Okay, so about all these colors, yeah, I will talk to you a bit more, all right? So this is how you perceive the colors, and later on I will let you know that what does this color means, okay, in a six thinking hats perspective, all right? So because with the thought about how you think about this color means to you actually will make you remember more about what these six thinking hats, okay? Okay, thank you for participating. All right, so let's continue. All right, so for today's session, okay, is a much more sharing session, all right? So it's going to take about like 2 hours. So today we will talk about the importance of creativity and how, okay, these two models, lateral thinking and six thinking, has actually contribute and help you in your creative thinking. All right. So if you have adopt, okay, this model six thinking has before, or you have heard about this before, or if you have any questions, all right, feel free to unmute yourself. All right, you can just stop me or whatever, because I hope that this is going to be a very relaxed and chill session. All right, it's a Friday, and I hope that those who have chosen blue, okay, that feel moody, I hope that with this session you won't feel that moody anymore. All right. So yep. So let's continue. So before we begin, yeah, just some fun facts about this creativity. All right. So there's a few research that has been done, and these are the feedback, okay, from a survey that they have done. So as you can see, okay, from the first part, all right, so the first question is about, do you value this characteristic in others? So this characteristic including creativity, intelligence, compassion, humor, ambition, and beauty, all right? So among these six characteristics, all right, we can see that people actually value creativity more, all right? A little bit more than the intelligence, all right? So 1% difference, okay? And next, okay, so about why creativity is important, okay? Or in other words, that which part, okay, in life, all right, that is very important, that creativity plays a role. So 91% talks about in personal life, and 83% is about in professional life. In fact, in this 21st century, creativity and also collaboration is a skill that employers actually value the most, or the most talk about characteristic or skills, all right, that people are seeking in this era. And next, further down, okay, we can see about that how does it take, okay, a lot of time think about a problem to produce creative ideas, or they're usually sparked by sudden inspiration, all right? So when we want to talk about new ideas, is it something that you need a long time to think about it, or it's just like something spark while you are doing something, or maybe you are talking with your colleagues, all right? So 58% actually talks about creativity is a kind of like a sudden inspiration, all right? While 32% talks about it takes a longer time to be more creative, all right? I think the next question is also something that is quite interesting. Is creativity actually driven by nature or nurture? All right. So 40% of the people that undertake this survey actually talk about 14 is about nature. All right. So 10% of these participants who took this survey actually talk about is a nurture kind of a skill. And 71% actually talk about both, okay? When we talk about creativity, it requires both nature and nurture, all right? So what is your thought? Do you think that creativity is actually a hidden talent, or is something that you can develop as the time goes? You can put at the chat box and let me know what's your thought. Is creativity, all right, is driven by nature or nurture, all right, or both, as you can see from the survey that the people have researched. So what is your thought? You can put at the chat box and let me know, all right? So I have seen Penny mention that it's a mixture of both, all right? How about the rest? What do you think? Do you think creativity actually is something that is inside you, or is something that need to be developed, or is actually is a mixture of both? Anyone? So Miss Sini say both. All right. Dr. Tang also mentioned both. Experience from bringing out the kids. I believe you need a lot of creativity. So most of your thing is both, yeah? All right. Okay. Well, let's see, okay, as the session goes, all right, let's review the answer later on. Okay, so when thinking creatively, do you think in pictures, words, or sounds, all right? So according to this survey, actually, most of the people that think creatively, okay, when they think is in the form of picture, followed by words. And interestingly, sound, okay, is not, how to say, that takes a major part in thinking creatively. All right, so these are some of the fun facts about creativity. So before we go into answering this question about why creativity, all right, is so important. So first of all, we must understand our most basic human nature, all right? So all of us actually have the unique capacity for thought and imagination that actually separate us from other living beings, all right? Whether you think you are a creative person or not, in fact, everyone possesses this creativity, all right? For example, it's not just about like painting the art, then we will think about like, oh, this person is so creative that he can paint a very nice art and so on and so forth. In fact, something daily task that you do, for example, like planning a birthday party, all right, as what Dr. Tang has mentioned, playing with the kids, I believe that needs a lot of creativity as well. Also, like maybe when you're at work, when you need to think about the lecture to teach the students, or maybe like putting the right formula in an Excel sheet, all of this actually is related to creativity, all right? So through creativity, we can actually push the boundaries as well as create some new possibilities and also solve some challenges or problems in life. And with this AI coming, all right, or automation, okay? So this actually take over our routine tasks, and creativity actually plays a much more important role, all right, in unique thinking nowadays. So creativity also important in decision making, all right? As creative thinking help us, all right, to find some innovative solutions in both professional and also in personal life. So as an example, right, when we talk about reduce environmental impact, okay, the most common idea that comes to our mind will be like recycling or maybe save energy. But all these are like so traditional, yeah. And some example of unconventional ideas would be like, have you ever think about that? We can actually use discarded, okay, coffee grounds. I'm not sure how many of you here are coffee lovers, all right? So we can actually use this discarded coffee ground, all right, to grow mushroom, okay? So this is a form of like eco-friendly, all right? And it's also like thinking out of the box. So with this creativity, we actually can think much more new ideas, all right, that can give us, how to say, to explore more, all right, and also new possibilities and new ideas in our life. And what does creativity have to do with critical thinking, all right? So this guy, all right, is known as Dr. Edward de Bono. So I believe all of you heard of him, okay, before. So he's the most famous guy that involved in these critical and creative thinking models. So according to him, there is no doubt that creativity plays the most important, all right, human resource of all. Because without creativity, there will be no progress, and we would be forever repeating the same patterns. Well, some people might be okay, all right, they won't feel like bored doing the same thing every day. They just feel like I'm comfortable with this, and all right, that's your choice, okay? But life is so long. That's why we need some creativity in our life to spark our life to be much more happening, all right? So let me introduce this wonderful guy, all right? So he was born in Malta, and he's actually a scholar at Oxford, and he got his doctorate from the Royal Melbourne Institute of Technology. So as I mentioned just now, he is the leading authority in the field of creative thinking, all right? And he's also the father or the founder of these 6 thinking hats. Apart from this, he's also have done these different models such as the DATT framework, which is the direct action thinking tools, the 6 action shoes, lateral thinking, parallel thinking, and so on and so forth. Yeah. So he's the father and the figure, all right, on this field. However, he has passed away in 2021. So this is Dr. Edward de Bono. So what does creativity have to do with critical thinking? All right. So critical thinking is much about how you solve the problems, and creativity is all about solving the problems. All right. So as we are living in this VUCA world, so VUCA is the acronyms for volatility, uncertainty, complexity, ambiguity. So this term actually comes from the Cold War era, and it how to say it talks about how volatile our world right now. So just for example, like COVID-19, the pandemic that we have not thought about, that there's such pandemic that can sweep across the global, and we have to change our life. For example, for the lecturers, you need to teach online, and we need to stay at home, and some businesses, all right, has to be closed down because of this pandemic. But if you are creative, all right, we can turn the situation and adapt the situation quickly. And this is how the world it is right now, okay? And this is a quote from Dr. Edward de Bono. So according to him is that the main difficulty of thinking is actually the confusion, all right? At one point of the time, we just wanted to do so many things, all right? So that's like the emotion that comes in, the information, the logic, hope, and also creativity. And at the same time, we just juggle too many balls that actually stop or limit our creativity or creative thinking in solving the problems. So how does creativity plays a role in our life, all right? So first is about creativity actually can stimulate your brain. So a little bit scientific part over here is that in our brain, there's like 86 billions of neurons, and actually some die off, all right, on and off. So with this creativity, it actually can enhance, all right, the growth of new neurons in your brain, all right. And next, all right, so for those that are still single or married, you will be better at dating and romance, okay? So with this point, yeah, thinking about if you are a very creative partner, all right, so probably you will stand out of the crowd because you will probably bring a partner for something much more fun, maybe apart from like just dinner and also maybe watching movies. Of course, this is really subjective to all of you. Yeah, some might think that, yeah, dinner and watching movies are just fine, but maybe some of you might think of like something that is more fun. All right. And a very interesting research, according to this Journal of Personality and Sociology, it mentioned that partners that are more creative actually are more passionate, they are more caring, they are more fun, and in fact, they are also more loyal. All right. So this is according to the study. All right. So creativity plays a very important role. And next is a longer life. So this a longer life actually it relates with the first point, okay, because it helps with your brain, all right, to develop a much healthier brain. So probably you won't be like experience like amnesia or dementia in a later life, which will affect your quality of life. So that's why you have a longer life. And next is that creativity helps you to find a purpose in life, all right? I know that all of us right now, we are all, not to say chasing money or fame, but yeah, work is part of our life and probably we have spent most of our time, all right, working. So it's very important that you find something different in your life, okay, so that it gives you a satisfaction. So some examples are like doing some charity work during the weekends, all right, just something different, all right, so it will change your life in a way. And next is creativity also helps you in solving problems in all kinds of scenarios, all right, in an aspect of both at work or maybe personally. And it also helps with stress relief, okay? So we all know that having stress is not a good thing because it weakens your immune system and you will get sick very easily. So being creative, all right, that to find ways to release your stress, all right, is important. And the final one, okay, everyone is actually naturally creative. So I've been like mentioning from my very first slide that everyone actually possesses this creativity, all right? So according to a research, I know that I've been like talking a lot about research, but according to this research, yeah, 98% of these 3 to 5 year old kids, okay, they are actually a very creative, okay, and all of us have been through that 3 to 5 years old. So we are once a very creative human being, all right. And amazingly, that this percentage dropped, okay, until like dropped 30% at the age of 10 years old. So what else we can say now? Okay, I will review like maybe some of us are in our 30s or maybe in our 40s. And yeah, so probably it's due by like insecurity or maybe outside pressure that actually limit, all right, our creativity, all right. So these creative techniques actually can be developed, all right. So let's find back our creativity, okay. So first of all right, how you can work on these creative techniques, okay, in yourself is that analyze, all right. It's not asking you to analyze a lot, but before we can let our creativity flows, we must understand the situation or the subject that you are working on. Sometimes we just force ourselves that we need to brainstorm some new ideas, but without realizing or knowing much more about the subject, the creativity just doesn't flow because your brain also have a limited condition of information that can help you to brainstorm on new ideas. Yeah. Next is that you need to keep an open mind, all right? Because of the experience that we have been through, or maybe the things that we have read, that actually limit, okay, our mind, all right? So it's very important that you think openly so that you can see your ideas getting better and better. Next is about problem solving, all right? So creativity is not just only about thinking new ideas or possibilities to help with creating something new, but it's also about how you solve the problem, all right? And next is about organizing your ideas. So when when things are in a mess, all right, and your brain, there's a lot of things that's going on. Sorry, just need to admit, okay? First of all, what you need to do is that you need to organize, all right, your ideas, see what you can do, all right? And with these clear steps, the creativity will come and flow again. And finally, communication. Yeah. Sometimes we have a lot of ideas, but we just keep it in ourselves. And by just keeping to yourself, you will not know how good is your ideas. Yeah. So it's very important that you discuss whatever that is in your mind with a trustable person, and you make notes and views, and perhaps from there you can make better ideas, or maybe opinion, and so on and so forth for your project and other thing else. All right. So for this creative thinking for today, I would like to share with you with these two models. First is the lateral thinking, and the next is the six thinking hats. Yeah. So lateral thinking, all right, is a term that is developed by Dr. Edward de Bono. So as I mentioned when I did a little introduction about this wonderful guy, so he's the master or the father of all this thinking. Yeah, if you have time to like Google about him, yeah, there's a lot of thinking tools that he has developed. Yeah. But unfortunately for this session, I will just be covering the six thinking hats. And if you're interested, perhaps you can write to Hazi, all right? Then maybe we can have another sharing session on Albert de Bono thinking tools, all right? So for lateral thinking, all right, I know there's a lot like creative thinking that I've been talking about, like critical thinking, lateral thinking. Yeah. So what's the difference between all these thinkings? Okay. So just to make you to much clearer about all these different thinking terms. So lateral thinking is also a form of a creative thinking, but in a much more structured way, all right, to generate ideas, okay? So it's all about thinking out of the box and also explore some creative possibilities. So with this lateral thinking, according to Albert de Bono, is that you need to ask, okay, what if questions. All right. So what if I can do this, or what if I can do that? All right. So this actually prompt your brain to think more out than your traditional way. All right. So this is about lateral thinking. So for example, is that when I ask about the satisfaction of a customer in a restaurant, in a very traditional way of thinking, we would think about the food, because restaurant is all about food. But if you want to think out of the box, it will be something about like the dining experience, yeah, and so on and so forth. Or maybe you would think about something much more than food. So this is known as the lateral thinking. And as I mentioned, I will also talk about these six thinking hats. Just push the word. Yes. Yeah, that's being creative. Yes, sure, Hada. All right. So the next will be the six thinking hats that I will be talking about later on. So it's more about a structured approach in decision making and problem solving. So this six thinking hats is not only applicable when you are in a discussion in a team. You can use this when individually as well. All right. So for this is very simple, okay, and effective parallel thinking process. So parallel thinking means that everyone thinking in the same direction, all right? So it actually can help teams to work together by guiding them to think parallelly. That means you focus on one thing at one time. So everyone will have the same thinking hats, which I will talk about it later, all right? And these six different color hats actually represent different modes of thinking. So there's like blue, green, black, red, white, and yellow. So that's the reason why I asked you this morning, like, what are these colors mean to you? Okay, probably it will help you to remember more, okay, about this color, okay? All right. Okay, so let's move on. All right, so we will delve deeper into this lateral thinking. So lateral thinking, just to recap, what I have mentioned just now is to think creatively and looking at the problems from different angles and explore on some, how to say, imaginary ideas that you have never think before. So it actually break free from your traditional thought patterns and also discover some new possibilities. So this lateral thinking actually comes from the idea that our brain actually processes information in different ways depending on the task on hand. So our brain has two thinking modes. So the first will be the convergent thinking. All right. So for convergent thinking, it means that it's a very straightforward thinking. You just want to find a single correct answer to a problem. So this is a very traditional way, and all you want is just to solve the problem, and that's all. All right. So this is known as the convergent thinking. The other thinking mode will be divergent thinking. All right. So it's an ability to generate multiple ideas and solutions to a problem. So we are actually capable, all right, to have different ideas and solutions. All right. It's just about which mode you want to use. Okay. And lateral thinking actually use this divergent thinking. All right. That's why I mentioned from the very beginning and also throughout my session that we all are a creative person. All right. So lateral thinking focuses on divergent thinking. All right. So as compared to just creative thinking, all right. So this lateral thinking actually help you, all right, to think out of the box and also ideas that are more efficient or effective. All right. So for example, like rather than like step by step in solving the problems, okay, sometimes we can apply like solutions that have been used by unrelated field or industry. So application is very important, all right? So one of the way to actually develop or encourage this lateral thinking is by a term called random stimulation, where outside stimuli such as like taking a walk, listening to music, or maybe brainstorming session actually can prompt you for this lateral thinking. So let's have some warm-up activity, all right? Let's let your brain exercise a little bit, okay? So I would like you to brainstorm, all right, as many unusual uses for these two items, paperclip and toothbrush, all right? So you just need to scan this QR code and then you can type in, all right? And let me know, okay, what are the other unusual uses that you can use, okay, with paperclip and toothbrush, all right? I will also put the link at the chat box so that you can just click on the link and work on it, yeah? So I will give you 5 minutes, all right, to think about what other uses you can use, unusual uses, yeah, with paper clips and toothbrush. All right, I have some ideas over here. So paper clip to fix broken sandal strap. Wow, I've never thought about that before. And toothbrush for artwork. All right, okay. Paper clip can be used as hair clip, all right? And toothbrush as a tool to dye the hair, all right? Oh, wow, this is interesting. We can use paper clip to crochet a flower motif. Wow, okay, toothbrush for painting, okay? And then paper clip as bookmark or little wall hook. Wow, see, I just mentioned that all of you are creative people. Toothbrush to scratch your back. Wow, that's amazing. Okay. Okay, as hair clip, wash comb and slippers. Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, probably the ladies over here. Yeah, we just use paper clip as a hair clip. Oh, use it as a hanger for decorative items during Chinese New Year. Ooh, wow. Okay. And use it to open the SIM card holder for phones. Wow, that's great. Hair clip and bra strap holder. Oh, that's a very good tool to be used in an emergency situation. Not only but for teeth, but to brush almost every small stuff. Yes, that's great. Okay, eyebrow brush for toothbrush. Oh, okay, that's great. To sprinkle paint to form a random droplets. Ah, all right. And also hook. Toothbrush to clean the window tracks. All right. Okay, anyone else? You have like other like ideas that comes to your mind with the paper clip and toothbrush? So I just give like another 1 or 2 minutes. Yeah, if you, yeah, although you have already put your ideas, but yeah, you can still put in your ideas. Probably something just come to your mind. So actually did some research. Okay, it's not from my mind. All right, some people actually use paperclip as a handphone holder as well. Yeah, and also hangers that I can see that one of you have already used that. Okay, and also as a keychain. Yeah, so that's also another creative way of using. I think in like Facebook or TikTok, sometimes they have all these hacks that use all these items. Yeah, so these people are very creative, and so you are, because you can think about all these ideas. So this is a one of letter. Okay, this is one of the creative thinking. Okay, examples. All right. All right. Okay. So thanks for participating. All right. Okay, let's continue. Yeah. So maybe some of you might be thinking that yeah, we always talk about creative thinking, but how we actually can develop this creativity, or in other words, lateral thinking. Okay, so in fact, there are some techniques to actually can be used, all right, to develop this lateral thinking. And when we talk about lateral thinking or creativity, it doesn't mean that you need to sit down and you need to think the whole day in order to have a great idea. Okay, this lateral thinking is actually a very short process, all right? When, as you have seen from my very first slide about the percentage about when this survey was being done, that when new ideas come, is actually a sudden inspiration, all right? So this lateral thinking actually can takes about like 1 to 2 minutes or maybe 30 seconds. As I mentioned, it's a very short process because creativity just comes suddenly out from nowhere, yeah? When you read about something. So here are some techniques, all right, for you to use, okay, in order to develop this lateral thinking. So the first one is about mind mapping, all right. I believe this is not a very new idea, because some of us might be using this to study last time, yeah. But little did we know that actually instead of like just using it as a mind map to read and to remember, okay, it actually also helps us with a creative thinking or lateral thinking. So how mind maps help is actually it helps individuals to brainstorm, organize, and generate new ideas in a very structured manner, as you can see, because in the middle you will put the idea or the concept that you want to talk about or you want to think about, and followed by the branches, all right, which shows subtopics or more ideas related with your main topic. And for this mind mapping, the key thing is that it will be great that you use some visuals or colors, because our brain actually can recall or work better or remember all these facts, okay, when it's in a visual or image form, okay. So this is about mind mapping, all right. The next technique that you can use, all right, to exercise your lateral thinking is random word association. All right, so this is a very simple yet effective way to stimulate creative thinking by prompting a person to link a random word to a problem or idea they are trying to solve. Okay, So with this random word, all right, you can direct a person to a particular area. So for example, if you want to have a new marketing ideas for a product, as I stated over here in a slide, all right. So maybe they just want to do something extraordinary, so they just put a jungle, all right. So you will start to think about what is in the jungle, what you can do with jungle, all right. So maybe you can do about a campaign or maybe a promotion in a zoo, yeah, because jungle we relate to animals, animals we relate to the zoo, okay. So over here, we also have an example, as you can see on the slide. So when we have star, all right, what comes to your mind? Okay, so that's like movie or maybe glitter, maybe astronomy, all right. So this is how, okay, you prompt, all right, creative thinking in yourself or also with your team members. All right. The next technique will be on reverse thinking, all right. I believe it's uncommon that sometimes when we want to solve a problem, we just got stuck and we just sit there and think like for don't know how many hours or okay. So another way, all right, for you, as I mentioned, okay, creativity does not only mean that create new ideas, but also solving problems, all right. So we can sometimes consider the problem from another perspective, all right. So instead of like thinking the solution, all right, perhaps we can think about what is the ideal, okay, situation, all right, that you will want the end result to be. And from there, you work backwards, all right. So an example over here, as you can see on the slide, is that instead of asking, how do I solve these problems, all right, you can ask about how could I possibly cause these problems, all right. Another example will be, how do I achieve these goals, all right. So in a reverse thinking manner, you can ask about how do I achieve the opposite of these goals, all right. All right, okay. Okay, noted. Okay, nice to meet you, Celine, and also Penny. Yeah, thank you. All right. Okay, so the next technique will be the 6 thinking hats. All right. So 6 thinking hats is also one of the technique to develop this lateral thinking. So it's a structured approach to problem solving and also allow more comprehensive and creative thinking. All right. As I mentioned though, so each of these hat actually represent a different mode of thinking. So it also helps you, all right, or the team members to think creatively. All right. So I will talk more about these 6 thinking hats later on. So what are the benefits of this lateral thinking or creative thinking? All right. So first of all, it offers a fresh thoughts. So maybe you will have very wow new ideas so that you can develop this, all right, into action. Okay. And also challenges the assumptions, all right. So it reduces the biases and linear thinking that actually trap you, okay, in a very traditional way, all right, or limit your creativity and unlock your potential. And next is to build new way of thinking, all right. So it's about how we approach the problems, all right. So when we have a creative mindset, so we will think differently in like solving the problems. So here are some of the ways, all right, to boost your creativity. So first of all, you can take a walk outside. As I mentioned, this is the outside stimuli. So maybe when you are walking outside, suddenly the inspiration just comes to you, all right? Or work in a different place, yeah. So sometimes when you are too tired in an office, probably you can go to the library, all right, to get a different environment, all right? Next is listen to music. So it's amazing that sometimes how songs, all right, that's why I feel a bit how to say, surprised that when people think creatively, sound actually comes last, all right. And next is taking a break. So sometimes when you just get stuck, so just do not force yourself much more. Your brain sometimes just need a break. And also spend time with different people. I think spending time with different people is very important, as they can give you a different point of view, as everyone been through different experience, so that they will let you know, okay, from their perspective point. And learn something new, all right? Learn something new actually can help to boost your brain, because it makes your brain exercise much more, so you will see in another perspective. Another way is to brainstorm and keep an idea journal, all right? So perhaps maybe you're doing some experiments, all right, and you read through somewhere that maybe it sparks, okay, your interest, all right. And next is rearrange and organize. So this is like how I mentioned earlier that you need to organize your thoughts or your ideas, all right, before you let your creativity flow. And next, change your routine, all right. Sometimes when we are too, how to say, just doing the same thing over and over again, we just couldn't find something extra or interesting in our life. So that's why sometimes perhaps today you have been like driving your car to the campus every day. Perhaps one day you would like to take the shuttle bus or maybe the public transport, all right? You will see a different perspective, okay, that might actually spark some inspiration in you. And next is play, all right? So it's very important that sometimes we as an adult, we forget how to play, all right? Playing is actually a very, how I would say, beneficial activity, all right? Because when you play, all right, so play is not just like physically, but you can also like doing something like Sudoku and other things or other activities, all right, to boost your brain, all right? So for example, like something fun, all right? So to let yourself to relax a little bit and the creativity will just flow. So here are some of the tips that you can do, all right, for this creative thinking, okay? Do you all need a 5 minutes break or I can continue? You can put on the chat box and do you all need a 5 minutes break? Okay, all right. So I will just continue. Yeah, thanks, Simi. Okay. So the next would be, okay, continue. All right. So the next would be the 6 thinking hats. All right. So this is the main highlight for today's session. So 6 thinking hats, it talks much more about a structured approach in decision making and problem solving. All right. So this is the model that is developed by Dr. Edward de Bono. So the main thing about this 6 thinking hat is that everyone thinking in parallelly. All right. So everyone think in the same manner. So there's like 6 different thinking hats, but you only wear one at a time. Okay. And these 6 hats actually direct you on how to think rather than what to think. So that is why this method can be applied in any other forms. So there's these 6 different color of hats. So there's white, black, blue, green, yellow, and red. So I can't remember if anyone actually choose red for the emotion today anyway. So white actually represents data, facts, or known, okay? And black is something very negative, okay? So it's about difficulties or any potential problems. Blue, all right, is something not moody, but it's a hat that the person who wear this hat actually need to manage the process or the next step or the action plan. And red is much more about emotions, about your feelings. And yellow, all right, if I remember, there's someone that talk about cheerful, bright. So it actually is a very positivity hat, all right? So you will talk about some values and benefits. And next is the green hat, which is about creativity and creating some new ideas, all right? So I will go deeper, all right, into each of these color of the hat. So what is blue hat thinking? Okay, so blue hat is also known as the managerial hat. So it's like the conductor in an orchestra. So a person will wear a blue hat, okay? That means he will control the meeting, all right? So it actually is a control mechanism that ensure that all these 6 thinking hats guidelines are actually being observed. So he will be the one to take care, all right? So for example, like for now, it's the turn of red hat and so on and so forth, all right? And we always start and end with the blue hat, okay? So usually the project manager, all right, who organize the meeting will have the blue hat, all right? So the main objective of this blue hat is that the person will ask the question and manage the process better and direct the thinking, all right? And this person, all right, would also organize the ideas, all right, into action plans, and he will be the one to design all the agenda, rules, and for the meeting and so on and so forth. This is the blue hat. So example of blue hat of questions that if the person is wearing it, all right, so will be something like which problem or situation we want to solve, or what is the outcome we want, or what are the benefits of solving this problem, all right. So example would be like the agenda for today is blah, 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 okay, or maybe the sequence of the hat, all right. We will come to the point about like how to use these hats, all right. And probably because the blue hat is the project manager or like the conductor or the organizer of the meeting. So he has the right, all right, to mention that we need to go back to the red hat, okay, or maybe to the green hat for further information or exploration, okay. So this is about the blue hat. Next is the white hat, all right. So white hat, as I mentioned just now, is about data and information. All right, so it's also known as a neutral hat. There's no color on it, all right? So you need to gather all the information that is needed for the meeting, all right? So the objective of this white hat is to prioritize facts over opinions and belief. So it's only about data, information, and nothing else, all right? And identify the gaps in the knowledge, because in a meeting, maybe some people that do not have the fact or data that they need. All right, so that is why we need this white hat. Okay, so with this white hat, you can bring forward the facts and data further to solve the problems or create new ideas or possibilities. So example of white hat questions will be like, what facts are available to us now? Okay, you can white hat, okay, in these 6 thinking hats, right, it's not necessary that it needs to be in a statement. You can ask questions, but the questions or statement must be related to facts and information. So for example, like who has the data that we need, all right? So example of things that when in a meeting, all right, when everyone is wearing a white hat, it will be something like we need data to support the shopper's choice, or a very factual statement such as like the sales are ahead by 7.1%, or something like we are using 3 assumptions about constructing this building and we need to consider more carefully. So it's all about facts and data for white hat. Next, we move on to the red hat. All right. So red hat is something about emotions. All right. And it's a hat that allows you to be yourself. All right. That you will use your gut feeling or your instinct to let the people know about what is your feeling. For example, you like, you dislike the idea, all right, you love or you hate, okay, or you fear. So this is the part where you are allowed to talk about your emotions about the idea or the problems that are being tabled, or the objective of the meeting. So the objective of this red hat is to find out how others feel, all right, and explore in an emotional perspective, because sometimes, as I mentioned, that whatever that we experience, sometimes we have this gut feeling, all right, we know that it might work or it might not work. So this is the time, okay, or the red hat time, okay, where you can throw out all these questions. So example will be like, what are my feelings? What others feel about this? And my gut instinct, what are they telling me? All right. So for example, will be like, our customer love this product because why? I'm angry when we have meetings about this that achieve nothing. So this is a time when you can tell your own emotions. Sorry. Or this project is really frustrating to me. Okay. So this is the time about red hat. So red is about emotions. Next is about yellow. All right. So yellow, as have mentioned by some of you, that is like cheerful and bright. So yellow hat thinking, all right, when you are with this yellow hat, okay, it's all about positivity. So it symbolizes as a brightness and optimism. All right. So with this yellow hat, all right, you will forget about all the negativity, but you just focus on the positivity. So if this yellow hat is something like, if there's a will, there's a way, or every idea is a good idea. All right. So the main objective of this yellow hat is to identify why an idea could work. All right. So remember, yellow hat means all is positive. All right. and expose when an idea might succeed, all right, or complete a positive risk assessment. So example of yellow hat question would be like, how can we achieve our end in mind? Or how success look like? Because it needs to be very positive. And what is the best way to approach this issue? Okay. So example would be like, let's get this done and later on we can go out and celebrate. All right. And or maybe something like we can absolutely achieve our objective. All right. So these are all the yellow hat thinking. All right. Next is a green hat. Green hat symbolizes like new growth, all right, like plants, all right. So green hat thinking is all about ideas. So this is related, okay, with the creativity, all right, because you need to think outside of the box. So this is why and how lateral thinking actually comes into it. So the objective of this green hat thinking is that it offers creative ideas and solutions, all right, and you will bend the rules, which means that you will not follow the traditional way, all right, you will think out of the box. Okay, so this is where the green hat is. So example is that we like generate like 10 solutions to the problem, or what are the other tools that we can use, all right? So something you can use because it's out of the box and you do not have to follow the rules, all right? So green hat is an important hat as well, because it's a time where you generate ideas or solutions to the problem or the main objective of your agenda. So it can go very well because we shouldn't like judge the idea in this stage, all right? So for example, like in the film World War Z, all right, they use this 10-man principle. So let's use that, okay? So you do not like limit yourself, all right, to just like maybe now it's an academic setting, you just think about in an academic setting, but you can use like industry setting or maybe like very creatively like a gaming, all right, in order to solve the problem. So this is how green hat looks like. And the black hat, all right. So black symbolizes negative, all right. Sorry. And it's actually also the most powerful hat as compared to the other hat, because it's also a risk assessment hat, all right? So it will be a problem if you overuse it, okay? And it's a time, okay, where you critically analyze each of the items, all right? What are the possibilities or things that could go wrong or might not work? So it's a very negative thinking, or in other words, it's like a judge, all right? Some people that whenever you throw an idea, they would just give you a very negative thinking that, oh, it will not work and blah, blah, blah. Okay, so this is where the black hat role comes in, okay? So the objective of this is to see what are the flaws, all right, or the risk or the solutions that won't work and why. So example of these black hat questions will be, will this fail? Will this really work? All right. And something like on a scale of 1 to 10, I think there's only 2 over 10 chances that this will work. All right. So it's very negative, but at one point is that it actually critically analyze so that your project or your idea, okay, will work or will not work. All right. I have talked with some of my ex-colleagues before that they use this de Bono, but some people might misunderstand that it depends on that person character, all right? Some people might think that, yeah, I'm better in like wearing the black hat, so I will be in charge of the black hat. But in fact, this de Bono thinking model doesn't work in that way, all right? So this de Bono actually works where everyone will wear the same hat at the same time, all right? And the blue hat, okay, the person who wears the blue hat, for example, the project manager, he will be the one to control the meeting, all right? So for example, like if you were to wear the white hat, okay, so we will set like a 15 minutes. So only that 15 minutes we will talk about on facts and then we move on and so on and so forth. This actually, as compared to the traditional discussion, where everyone will wear the different hats simultaneously, can lead to a conflicting viewpoints and also unproductive arguments, all right? So this parallel thinking actually helps everyone to think in the same way, which means everyone will wear the same hat at the same time during the meeting or discussion. So you will be able to focus on an area, all right, and move on, All right, so this is how the bonus thinking hats work. So how we can use these 6 thinking hats? All right, so for example, like when you want to make a decision, or you want to brainstorming something, or you want to solve a problem. All right, so it has a structural framework, okay? And the main key thing about this De Bono 6 thinking hat is that all of you need to wear it genuinely. That means you do not like have any biases, all right? And you need to explore in a different perspective. All right, so this is the main key thing of this De Bono 6 thinking hats. So these are just some of the example of like how decision making looks like when it's wearing a white hat. All right, so we gather the data. Red hat will be about the feelings. Black will be what are the risks and challenges. Yellow will be all the positive aspect. Green is something creative, and blue, all right, will be something as a wrap up of the meeting or the discussion. So this is an example of brainstorming, all right? So again, white hat is on data. Red hat, okay, will be excitement and concern. And then black will be risk and obstacle. Yellow is about what are the benefits. Green will be creative ideas, and blue will be how you're going to do it step by step. So blue hat is actually a process control, and what is the outcome of this? Okay. All right, Hazim has a question. So wait, yeah. So hold on, yeah. Okay. Next will be problem solving. All right. So to answer Hazim's question here, so the main key thing about this the Bono 6 thinking hat is that at one time everyone will wear the same hat. Okay. So I will tell you like how in what condition in what order, okay, this hat should be used, okay, that will be in a later, yeah, okay, so hold on. So about problem solving, all right, so for example, white hat, you analyze the data. Red, again, is about emotions, all right. Black is identify the reasons or the risk. Yellow is what are the positive outcomes. Green is new ideas, and blue will be as a whole to wrap up, okay, what is the final discussion or final conclusion of the discussion and ideas, yeah. All right, so the most important part comes. What order should these 6 thinking hats to be used? All right, so in generally, all right, as I mentioned, you always start and end with a blue hat, all right. Typically, the second hat will be the white hat, all right. So you want to talk about the facts first, and next you talk about what are the ideas, and fourth will be the yellow hat, that you will think about the positive outcomes of these ideas or possibilities that you have brainstormed on. And the fifth will be about your emotion, all right? So will this work or this will not work? And finally, only will be the black hat, all right? You will identify the risk. So there's a reason why it goes in this way. If you see in this order, right, it's about something good, and at the end, only you criticize it. All right, so this is how the order looks like. So, all right, is it like necessary to use all the hats? Okay, in fact, you do not have to use all the hats. Some people, all right, or some organizations or some meetings, all right, they just use 3 hats to work through a problem. So it's very important to know that what is the main objective of your meeting or your discussion, all right? But if you are in doubt, you do not know, okay, if it's okay to like not use the red hat or maybe not use the green. Okay, green definitely will be there, all right, because you need to develop ideas. Just use all the hats and follow that typical order, all right. So here are some of the alternative solutions, all right. If you would want to like not use all the hats, okay, or you just want to keep the meeting short, all right, because you know what is the main objective of your meeting or your discussion. So if you want to initiate ideas and brainstorm, all right, you can see here, all right, you start and you end with blue. You need to have the white and the green, all right, because you just want to have ideas and brainstorm. So this is it, all right. In identifying solutions, all right, you need to critically analyze it. So that's why you need the black to come in, all right? So why in this situation, black comes in first, all right? Because you are solving a problem, all right? You need to identify the risk, Okay, and then comes with the idea how to overcome this. All right. Strategic planning. All right. As you can see, okay. First you start with blue, followed by yellow, and then black, white, and then blue, because you need someone to analyze, okay, whatever that you have talk about it. And then you go back to some new ideas, and then blue again. All right. And next is problem solving. All right. So for problem solving, we have a red hat over here, because when you want to solve a problem, sometimes you have a gut instinct, because everyone have an experience before, as I mentioned, and probably you have a gut instinct to tell you that this will work or this will not work, right? Because you are solving a problem. All right. And comparing fact and opinion. All right. So these are the hats that you can use. All right. Because facts and opinions also related with emotion. That's why the red comes in. Comparing and synthesizing, or when you want a new ideas. All right. So these are the hats. Okay. And choosing between alternative. All right. So as you can see, you will have the blue first. All right. Followed by the white, yellow, black, and then green, and then red. And a quick feedback. Okay, the main hat will be yellow, black, and green. And for a process improvement, all right, as you can see, you have like two white hats over here. All right. So the white hat, the first white hat will be just the data or information, and followed by what are the other people's view, okay, and so on and so forth. And for performance, and these are the hats, okay. So these are some of the alternatives that you can use, all right? But of course, it really depends on the situation and also what are the discussion that you want to use. So the main important thing is that you understand what are the color of the hats and what does it mean. And you can actually decide, okay, what hats to be used. But these are the suggested or recommended hats to be used for this kind of discussion or meetings. All right, so how this lateral thinking actually complement these six thinking hats, yeah. So if you still remember, lateral thinking is about creativity, all right, creative thinking, and let your thinking not to be bounded by the very traditional or linear way, all right. So lateral thinking plays a very important role in green hat, because green hat is the hat that actually where you need a new ideas or new creativities or possibilities. So which is why lateral thinking is very important in this field, in this hat. So you can use the technique that I've mentioned just now, for example, like random word, reverse thinking, mind mapping. All this actually helps your ideas to flow, okay? And how about black hat, all right? So how does how does lateral thinking and black hat actually complement each other? So first of all, you will create a lot of ideas, all right? And the black hat actually comes in to criticize or analyze each of the idea that you have talked about. So since we all already know what the hats are, so let's get some hands-on, okay? So there's like these three scenarios over here. All right, so the first is designing a sustainable transportation system. Second is about reducing traffic congestion. And third is improving online learning. So first of all, we will do this together. So I would like to know which one you are more interested in, okay? So you can scan this QR code and we will be discussing on the topic as what the majority choose, all right? So you can scan the QR code and then we will work on this. Okay. seems like until now we have 11 participants have chosen, majority have chosen the reducing traffic congestion, all right, and a little portion have chosen improving online learning engagement, all right. How about the rest? I'll give like another minute. And no one actually choose designing a sustainable transportation system. Yeah, so we will be doing this together, so no worries, yeah? All right, seems like all of you are more interested in discussing reducing the traffic congestion in a busy city. All right, okay, so this will be our topic, okay? So it will be reducing traffic congestion in a busy city. All right. So now I would like you to scan this QR code. All right. So it's a Padlet where you can put in your ideas. I will also put this at the chat box over here so that uh, you can click on this link. So we will follow the typical order, all right, of the thinking hats. Okay. So our main is to reduce the traffic congestion in a busy city, all right? Okay. So for the white hat now, all right, so I want everyone to wear the white hat now. Okay, so it's all about data. Okay, so what is your suggestion or statement, okay, that you can put in the Padlet, all right, for reducing traffic congestion in a busy city, all right? You let me know if you are not able to get into this Padlet, yeah? I can see that someone is typing. So now is the white hat. So how are we going to reduce the congestion? Okay, so yeah, I just would like you to like think about if it's white hat, what are the things that you can talk about or to ask, all right? All right, mandatory to use public transport only to enter certain cities during work days. Okay. Mm. So remember, yeah, white hat is about data and information, okay? So reduce congestion in a city. Hmm. Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah, I will give an example later, yeah, okay. Oh, for what had, okay, example. For example, all right, okay, I will talk about this later on, okay. So it's about data and also information, all right. So we do not give ideas in this stage because ideas would be green hat, all right. Yeah, most of us start with green. Which shows that all of us are creative people. Yeah. Carpooling Malaysian is among the worst. All right. So now we are at the white hat. So it's about data and information. Okay. Oh, the topic. All right. All right. So the topic is reducing traffic congestion in a busy city. This is the topic that we are talking about. Perhaps I'm thinking if I can put it over here. No worries. Let's see if I can. Let's see. Let's see. Mm, oh. So I give another 2 more minutes, all right? And then we will have a look at what our brainstorm session for this white hat part. Mhm. Glad to see all of you are like typing and putting in your thoughts. All right, so let's have a look, okay, on white hat. So white hat is all about information and data. Okay, so first of all, let's have a look on this. Get data on which area with the most crowded people and heavily populated. Yep, that's a white hat thinking. Next, more highways does not solve congestion. Okay. Yeah, 1 second. Yeah, it's getting more and more. Right. So maybe we have a stop. Okay. So perhaps you can stop for a while, then maybe you can put in more thoughts later on with a different hats. Yeah. So build and create more efficient public transport system as what being practiced in Perth, they use color bus route. Okay, this would be much more a green hat thinking because you're giving ideas, all right? So now we want the facts and data, all right? So carpooling, all right, so that's an idea as well. Third, get number of passengers versus number of available working public transport. Yes, so this is a part of a white hat example. How long does currently take to reach workplace? Yes, because it's a kind of a white hat because we are all about information and data right now. Find out frequency of public transport, reason why people prefer to drive to city. Yes, okay. Carpooling, all right, so this is a green hat. Mandatory to use public transport. This is also a green hat, all right. So get data on which area the most crowded people and heavily populated. Yep, this is an example of white hat. People's readiness to make a change, all right. So this is not quite a white hat, yeah, all right. So implementing bicycles lane, this is much more a green hat, all right. Mandatory to use public transport only, okay, this is also a green hat. So get data on which area, okay, so this is white hat. Carpooling only works when people go to the same place all the time. Some people might go to work together, but they want to go different places after work. All right, so this can be a white hat, yeah, because it's a fact and information. Build more roundabout, that's an idea. The people's modes of transport, yes, okay, white hat. The purpose of traveling among the road users, yeah, you're gathering some data, all right. Find out frequency of public transport, reasons why people prefer to drive to cities, yes, perfect. Implement carpool system, this is about green hat, all right. Build more ramps in the traffic light, this is also a green hat, okay. So I hope that you can see, okay, what white hat means, okay. All right, so thank you. So now let's move on, all right. After white hat, so now is the green hat, all right. So I'm going to clear this, all right. I wonder if I can archive. Should be clearing, yeah. Okay. All right, so now it's about green hat. All right, so it's all about ideas. So let your brain, okay, give all the unlimited ideas, wow ideas, all right, what you can do to reduce, all right, the traffic congestion in a busy city. All right, so now we are in the green hat mode. Reduce traffic congestion, okay. Encourage cycling. You can give some wow ideas, is fine. Yeah, this is a time where you need to get wow, all right, and fun. I think these green hat ideas we can channel to our transport minister later on, yeah. A lot of people talking about working from home. Oh, okay, you need the QR code. Okay, I will send you the link at the chat box, then you can click on it. Or if you prefer QR code, yeah, this is the QR code if you want. All right, you're welcome. Build third bridge in Penang. Okay. Yeah, I heard that it's quite bad. Yeah, the traffic from the mainland to the island. Hanging train. Mm. So I give you another minute. All right. I'm just putting the post in green so that I don't have to clear the post and then we can work on the yellow later on. No worries. Now we are at the green hat. Yeah, green. So it's all about ideas. All right, seems like you all have a lot of ideas, so I'll give you another minute. All right, one more minute. Okay, so perhaps we will make a stop. All right, I know you have wonderful ideas. All right, so keep that for the next column ahead. All right, okay, so let's have a look. Implement day shift. All right, so employees take turn to the office while others work from home. Okay, that's one of the way. Sorry, just really green. Okay. Invest in our public transport system, make them more efficient so that they don't break down so often. No point having more trains or buses when the problem is that they are not well maintained and break down often. Okay. So remote working, site jogging, allow people to discover a place for combination of wow. Okay. Wow, this is interesting. Carpooling, yep. Encourage cycling, working from home, and build a third bridge in Penang. All right. Okay. Restricting parking near busy areas. Limit the on-road time for heavy vehicles. Government should do a research on city planning and advises how many school, bank, hospital. Too many discounts in one areas. People have to travel all the way. Do a research on city planning. Oh, I see. Okay. All right. Build hanging tram. All right. Create underground, give rewards, have more bus routes, all right? Place like, okay, I think this should be Penang. Give discount and rebate. Build more car park. More accessible route with mini buses. Free ride public transport. Enhance bus system. Implement travel card. Work from home. Yep. So all these are ideas. Okay. Perfecto. All right. So let's move on to the next one. So the next will be the yellow hat. So yellow hat, we will talk about. All right. So now we are at the yellow hat now. Okay. So it's about positivity. So based on all the ideas, right, that you have mentioned over here. Okay. So what are the benefits, okay, that you can see? All right. So you can put in your thoughts right now. So we are at the yellow hat now. What are the benefits with all these, okay, ideas that you all have put in? Okay, I just need to change the color, yeah, so that less carbon monoxide in the city, all right. Happier employees. Yeah, that's very true. Okay. Which workplace on time? Yep, that's positive. More productive. Yep. Okay, so traffic can be reduced. Can snooze on the train or bus on the way to work. That's a good one. Yep, lower down cost of living. Yep, that's good. Yeah, traffic jam is a stressful experience. Totally agree. So I'll give you another minute, all right, and then we will move on to the next hat. I think you are all getting into the Debono's thinking hats, yeah. Okay, so perhaps for the last participant, all right, then we will have a stop, all right, for this yellow hat. Okay, so less stress by work from home. Okay, work-life balance, more productive because you do not have to spend too much of time with all the ideas that you have put in over here. Less pollution, healthier, All right, and then less stress and healthy lifestyle, improve mental health. Yes, traffic jam is a stressful experience, and I love this. Can snooze on the train or bus on the way to work. Less carbon monoxide, so it's a greener city. And lower down cost of living. Yes, it's a benefit. Reach workplace on time. Yep, definitely. Work from home. Okay, better mental health, less traffic, and happier employees. Can I wake up at work and on laptop? Yes, totally agree. Yeah, this is a good one, okay? Yeah, lower down cost of living, all right? Reach workplace on time, less pollution, greener cities, and also probably there are some potential economic benefits, all right? So increased productivity as well as reduced commuting time, all right? So perfect, everyone. So next, okay? Now, we are at the red hat, okay? Sorry, just let me get back. Okay, so now we are at the red hat, yeah? Okay, so yellow hat is gone now. All right, everyone now put on your red hat thinking. All right, so this is about emotion. All right, so emotion about the traffic congestion in a busy city. All right, so you can talk about the emotion, your thoughts about traffic congestion, number one, okay, for red hat. Or you can talk about what is the instinct, okay, on the ideas that you have given just now were, okay? Yeah, how you feel. Do you like the idea, all right, or you do not like the idea? Okay, so this is the red hat thinking. It's about your emotion. No need to deal or meet people mental health, all right? Okay, so now is the emotion, all right? I wish I can do it again. Okay. Okay, so this we will channel to our bosses working from home. Yeah, stress because of traffic. More employees engagement is the feel more satisfied with work. Yep. So now we are at the red hat. Lack of implementation, okay. Less stress and healthy lifestyle. Yep. Able to send kids to school. Okay. Work. Okay, this one we will talk later on, yeah. Great feelings. So now it's red hat is about your emotions about this traffic congestion. Okay. So I give you another minute, all right, before we will move on to the last hat. All right. Okay, so let's give a stop. All right, for the red hat now. Okay, first, we love to walk to work if not for the sun. Okay, it was such a nice walk in Australia. All right, so this is your feeling. Okay, more employees' engagement as they feel more satisfied with work. All right, can spend more time with family or me time instead of wasting time in the jam, stress because of traffic. Cyclists can never be trapped in bad traffic, time saving, exercise opportunity, and great feelings. Yeah, good. No need to deal or meet with people, mental health, less stress, work from home, improve mental health, less stress, frustration because of the traffic and because of lack of implementation. All right, so about this, yeah, work from home still need to travel to send kids to school, not practical. This will be much more of black hat later on. All right. So red hat is all about your emotion, your feelings. All right. So we do not give ideas on top or analyze, okay, on the ideas that have been given. All right, so it's your feelings or your emotions. Yeah, I miss working from home. Wish I can do it again. All right, so other examples would be like you can talk about how annoying it is. All right, or frustrated during the traffic congestion, and with all these ideas, probably it will be a smoother, okay, or more efficient commuting experience. All right, so these are the red hat. Okay, now let's move on to the final hat, which is the black hat. All right, so the black hat will be all the green all these ideas that you have given. All right, so what are the challenges or maybe risk? So remember, black hat is something negative. All right, because we do not think about positive in black hat because we think positive for the yellow hat. So now we only think about something negative. All right, so it's like a judge on all the ideas that you have think about this. All right, so for example, like place like heritage zones to be car free as the roads are super narrow and not meant for cars. So you should think about a risk or something negative. If you implement this, what negative thing could happen? All right, so this is the black hat. All right, so based on the green, okay, the green post you see here, which is your ideas, what are the risks or the negative thing that you could think about if we implement all of this? Okay. Okay, they don't have black, so all right. I'll just pick purple maybe. So you need to think about something negative, all right? Okay, very good. Cyclists are exposed to air pollution. Perfect. Difficult to implement, takes a lot of effort. Easier said than done. Yeah, it's never easy, but it's not impossible. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Mm. Yep. Later risk in case of accident. Yep, yep. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Cyclists get hungry faster and need to eat a lot. Okay. All right. So probably the cost of living is also higher because he needs to spend a lot. Say goodbye to Forrest. Okay. I give you another minute. All right. All these green people. All these green people. Okay, so those people, yeah. All right. So I will wait for the last one before, okay, I will conclude this part, yeah. All right, well, I see that there's two of you are still typing, so I will go through the rest, okay? So cyclists are exposed to air pollution, yep. And difficult to implement, takes a lot of effort. Cyclists may face a greater risk in case of accident, yep. Carpooling is a hassle, yep. Some have bad habits like dirtying their friend's car or just bad attitude, yep. People got tired of a system that failed to live up with schedule and frequency. Okay, all right. Certain people will take advantage of less traffic. Cyclists get hungry faster and need to eat a lot. Say goodbye to forests, all right. Pools and natural habitats, okay. The green people protest on new development, all right. Okay, cyclists are exposed to air pollution. Certain people will take advantage. This one, okay. Cyclists may face a greater risk in case of accident, yep. And need a big fund from government to improve the system, yep. Yep. So these are some of the example, all right. People are selfish and will drive anyway for their own convenience. So during the black hat stage, you will pinpoint, all right, or judge the ideas that you have mentioned earlier on, which is the green hat stage, all right. So the blue hat, okay, so in this case, I'm wearing the blue hat, all right, because I'm telling you which hat is going to right now. And after that, I go through your ideas and to say that if this is a green, this is blue, this is yellow, or this is red. So this is how the blue hat, okay, or the conductor or the manager in some of your cases would work, all right. And for blue hat, okay, later on, all right, after, okay, after he or she see all this discussion or all these ideas, he or she will need to make a conclusion, all right. So probably from the ideas that you all have input just now, probably I can like suggest something like we can have like a short-term or a long-term plans, all right, in reducing the traffic congestion, okay? And also maybe I will start to plan some steps because like some things that we can done right now, then probably I will suggest to you and we will move on to the next stage, right? So this is how it works for the 6 thinking hats, all right? I hope you all have fun, all right, putting in your ideas. And this actually shows that you all are a creative person, yeah, because you have the ideas, all right, to put in, all right? Don't limit yourself and think about the potential that you have, all right? Okay, so thank you for participating. So we are moving to the end of the session, okay? So what are the benefits and some practical tips for you for these 6 thinking hats, all right? So it's important that we use this lateral thinking and parallel thinking, which is the 6 thinking hats together, all right? So lateral thinking give you a fresh perspective, all right? And also new ideas, while 6 thinking hats will use, okay, to help you to structure, okay, of how to say, to give you a much more structured approach, all right, in discussion and also in decision making, all right. So these two actually complement each other and synergize, all right. So some tips over here, all right. So some colors, as you see over here, have cultural implications. So for example, in Chinese, all right, green may mean unfaithful spouse, all right. So you will not want people to say, hey, now we all put on the green hat, okay. So, or maybe black hat, okay? Some people might think that it's like fault finding, that when I wear a black hat means that, yeah. So you can actually pick new colors, all right? And you can decide, all right, on this color, that what does it mean, all right? So it's fine to use any colors as long as all 6 are different, all right? And also you need to stick with the same color, okay, in each of the meetings. So it's not like, okay, now I would like to change maybe black into green into purple, all right? So green means that new ideas, all right? So, but in the next meeting, you change, all right? So you will make people confused, all right? So these colors actually that I have suggested just now, or not suggested, but this is how it looks like in Six Thinking Hat, actually related, all right, with the colors that you think of, all right? So for example, yellow always give people a sense of like cheerful. Green is like new growth, so it means new ideas. Blue, all right, okay, so will be the person who will manage the process. Black, all right, is like very negative, okay. Red, you can see like very angry, so it's about like emotions. So this actually relate, and it will be much easier, all right, for your team members to actually remember and understand, okay, when you are wearing each of these 6 thinking hats during the meeting, okay. So some take-home message, all right. So lateral thinking enhance your problem-solving skills, and by integrate these 6 thinking hats, you can foster a holistic approach, and together you will have an effective decision-making or creative ideas, and also to solve the problems, all right. So just to recap, all right. So blue hat, okay, is like a firm director or a conductor of an orchestra, so he will direct the meeting or discussion. White hat will be a detective because you want to know all the facts and data. And yellow hat is about positivity, all right, brightness, sunshine. And black hat is like a naysayer. That means imagine, all right, if you have all the ideas, you just want to pinpoint and judge. So it's about all the negativity. Red hat will be emotional, all right, so it's about all your emotions, you like, your dislike. And finally, green hat is like an entrepreneur, which means you give on a new ideas, okay? So I would like to end this session with this quote from Dr. Edward de Bono. Creative thinking in terms of idea creativity is not a talent, right? So it is a skill that can be practiced and nurtured. So it's just like developing your muscle, all right? The more you work on it, the better you will get, all right? So that's all for today's session. I'm so glad to see all of you, and okay, show all hats like oh, okay, I will go back to that slide. All right, yeah, this is the one that you want, Shuhada. All right, so yeah, thank you for joining this session. All right, and if you have any questions, you can post it in the chat box over here, or if you would like to have more of this thinking tools workshop, yeah, you are most welcome to let Hazim know. All right, so thank you, and have a good weekend, and glad to see all of you. All right, see you. And thank you. All right, you're most welcome. Yeah, most welcome. Thank you for joining. Now no longer blue. Glad to hear that. All right. Thank you very much, everyone. You too, Shamini. Yeah, most welcome, Hazim. All right, I'm going to end this session. If you have anything, yeah, you can just drop me an email. All right. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks for joining, Dr. Tang.